In the wild, controlling distance is the first factor determining any confrontation. As distance narrows, the rhythm of reaction becomes the next decisive factor. If one side maintains its rhythm and direction of movement, they retain the advantage. Otherwise, the tide turns. The entire outcome lies not in strength, but in who controls the situation at the critical moment. In the vast grasslands, buffaloes maintain their safety by keeping formation and moving in sync with the herd. Under pressure, they close the distance, move toward the threat, and maintain a stable structure. Each individual holds its position, forming a continuous defensive line. This stability ensures that any changes are slow and controlled. While the structure remains stable, lions begin to approach from multiple directions to exert pressure. They move low, change angles, and gradually narrow the space. Pressure increases with each step, forcing the herd to shift in a lead rhythm. The distance between individuals begins to shift, creating temporary weaknesses. The decisive moment is formed when the herd's rhythm is disrupted by a sudden change. An individual accelerates in an unpredictable direction, cutting across the approaching trajectory. The encirclement rhythm was broken, and the pressure was no longer synchronized. The lion stopped and retreated when it lost control of the situation. From that development, the advantage didn't lie in strength, but in the ability to adapt at the right moment. The buffalo remained safe thanks to its herd structure and a surprise reaction. The lion lost its advantage when the hunting rhythm was broken and the pressure wasn't maintained. When the rhythm is gone, the outcome changes in a clear direction. In calm water, hippos define their space with a very clear territorial instinct. They spend most of their time submerged, only exposing their eyes, ears, and nostrils for constant observation. At the first sign of unusual movement, they immediately turn their heads, signal a warning, and maintain their central position. Despite weighing thousands of pounds, they can accelerate briefly on land to about 20 miles per hour and react very quickly when their boundaries are breached. Lions approach from the edge of the bank at a slow pace, maintaining distance before entering the water. As soon as they enter shallow water, their footing decreases, their speed is limited, and their movement becomes less flexible. The hippo immediately recognizes the intrusion and accelerates directly towards them, closing the distance in a short time. The lion loses its hunting posture and shifts to escaping, forced to swim instead of controlling the situation. The decisive moment arrived when the lion realized it no longer controlled the distance. The lion retreated toward the shore, and the gap widened. On land, the lion still had a chance. In the water, the hippo maintained almost absolute control. The crucial point lay in the shift from land to water. In that change, the lion realized it was in the wrong environment and the balance of power was gone. In a challenging environment, leopards maintain their advantage through agility and instantaneous reactions. They move alone, keeping their distance and always ready to change direction within a tight space. Each short, decisive step helps maintain a steady rhythm as the distance narrows. When two individuals approach, the balance quickly shifts to confrontation. When confrontation occurs, there is no probing phase, and the attack begins immediately. One individual closes in, maintaining a rapid and continuous rhythm to create psychological pressure. Approaches take place at very close range, forcing the opponent to react repeatedly. The gap disappears, the rhythm is heightened, and there is no time to stabilize. The decisive moment occurs when one individual can no longer maintain the continuous chain of reactions. It backs back to create distance, while the other individual maintains pace and takes position. The space tilts toward the one that maintains speed and controls direction. The result is formed when one side leaves the area to avoid prolonged risk. In the open space, the hyena doesn't rush to approach, but maintains a flexible pace to avoid early collision. It moves in circles, keeping its distance and constantly observing to control the situation. The slow but steady pace creates sustained pressure without direct contact. From this state, the opponent is forced to take the initiative. After a prolonged period of dodging, the leopard suddenly closes in to regain control. It accelerates, attacks repeatedly, and tries to finish the fight quickly. The hyena doesn't stand still to confront it, continuing to dodge and maintain a safe distance. The confrontational pace turns into a prolonged, evasive attack, causing the leopard to gradually lose its initial advantage. The decisive moment comes when the leopard realizes its attack rhythm is no longer effective. The close-range approaches become less frequent, and the distance is no longer as tight as before. The risk increased when it couldn't finish quickly. It chose to retreat to a higher position for safety. From that development, the advantage didn't come from speed or the number of attacks. The hyena controlled the situation with patience and the ability to maintain steady pressure. The leopard lost its advantage when it couldn't finish quickly and was forced to change tactics. The difference emerged at the point where one side maintained its rhythm, while the other did not. On flat terrain, the wildebeest relies on instantaneous reflexes to maintain a safe distance from any unusual movement. It remains alert, ready to accelerate when the distance narrows and maintain balance at high speed. Its heavy but stable body helps it resist pressure at close range. From this state, every approach must be precise, for even a moment's delay will break the distance. When the distance is reduced to a point of no delay, the leopard shifts from observation to decisive approach. It accelerates in a short burst, closing in quickly and clinging to the wildebeest's body to control its movement. The wildebeest reacts forcefully, struggling and pushing back to maintain balance. The collision rhythm is continuous, shifting from approach to control in short seconds. The breakpoint occurs when the balance is disrupted in a very short period. The wildebeest's body veers off course and loses its initial stability. The leopard maintains its position, sustains pressure, and quickly gains complete control of the situation. When maintaining close bonds, baboons rely on coordination among individuals to stay safe from unexpected pressure. Individuals constantly observe, adjust their positions, and are ready to react at the first sign of trouble. Adults do not retreat, but actively advance when necessary. From this state, danger only truly arises if the formation is broken. A small gap appears and is immediately exploited with a short, decisive acceleration. The leopard quickly closes in, hoping to separate an individual from the group in a brief moment. But the baboons do not disintegrate. Instead, they immediately tighten their formation. The alpha male advances, charging into a direct confrontation and applying immediate pressure. The entire offensive comes to a halt when the group structure is not disrupted as anticipated. The collective counterattack was relentless, causing the leopards to lose their rhythm and position. The pressure from multiple individuals rapidly increased the risk, forcing the leopards to retreat to avoid injury. The result was that the formation was maintained, and the attack could not be sustained. In a state of high readiness, the leopard relies on instantaneous acceleration to create distance at the first sign of danger. It moves stealthily, maintaining distance and always ready to change direction to avoid direct contact. Its quick reflexes allow it to escape danger before pressure builds. However, this state only lasts as long as the distance remains unbroken. From a low, hidden position, the leopard begins to close the distance without making any clear signals. It chooses the moment and suddenly lunges in, closing in quickly to gain control from the outset. The action takes place in a few short seconds, leaving no time for the opponent to react. The mother leopard immediately turns around, accelerates, and counterattacks directly to protect her cub. The advantage shifts completely when the leopard doesn't lose its initial control. The leopard's counterattacks were frequent but insufficient to change the distance. Pressure was maintained at close range, preventing the leopard from sustaining its direction of movement. The outcome was determined when the leopard maintained control throughout. The result was maintained from the moment control was uninterrupted. The leopard could react quickly and apply pressure, but could not reverse the situation once it lost the initiative. The leopard maintained its advantage through its ability to hold its position and control consistently. The difference was decided when one side maintained control from start to finish. Always ready, the zebra maintains its safety by constantly adjusting its direction upon detecting pressure. It keeps its distance, observes, and only accelerates when necessary to avoid being locked onto. Its powerful legs allow for instantaneous reactions at close range. From that stable foundation, even a small misstep in timing can change the entire course of events. From the narrowed distance, the leopard explodes with acceleration and closes in a matter of seconds. It moves into close range to create a moment of imbalance, while the prey is still moving. The zebra doesn't maintain its direction, but slows down for a brief moment to turn around. The kick is delivered at the right time, interrupting the close-range approach and forcing the leopard to lose its balance. The initial advantage is no longer maintained when the attack rhythm is interrupted immediately after the approach. The leopard lost its balance, its will to pursue diminished, and it stopped to avoid further risk. The gap widened, and the zebra accelerated away from the area. The outcome was decided by a timely reaction that reversed the entire hunt. Not every hunt ends with a collision, but with a moment when one side pauses, pressure can be created, but it cannot always be maintained. A timely response can halt an entire pre-planned attack. In nature, victory belongs to the one who knows when to hold and when to stop. In the wild, every attack doesn't begin with speed, but with identifying weaknesses. A lion doesn't charge immediately, but silently observes, maintains its position, and waits for the opportune moment to strike. When the time comes, the attack is swift, precise, and leaves no room for reaction. And it is this brief sequence of actions that determines the outcome of each confrontation. In arid environments, warthogs maintain safety by using burrows as shelters and reacting quickly to danger. While inside the burrow, it controls the confined space and reduces risk. Its escape reflex helps it handle unexpected situations. However, as external pressure increases and forces it to leave its shelter, this advantage quickly diminishes and turns into a disadvantage. Recognizing this, the lion locates the burrow and maintains a distance to observe instead of approaching directly. The pressure created from the outside forces the warthog to leave its burrow. As soon as prey appears, the lion accelerates rapidly and closes the distance quickly. The pressure is concentrated precisely at the moment of transition. The moment of approach occurs before the warthog has had time to stabilize its movement. The open space loses its footing, and the safe distance is no longer maintained. The confrontation ends quickly when the advantage from the burrow is gone. The outcome is determined the moment the prey leaves its hiding place. From this transitional state, the deciding factor lies in controlling both space and time. Once the hiding place is gone, all reactions become passive. And within a very short period, the outcome is clearly defined. Near the water's edge, the crocodile maintains an advantage by keeping a very short distance and reacting quickly in its familiar environment. While in contact with water, it controls its position well and is difficult to approach from multiple directions. However, once it leaves this environment, its ability to adjust diminishes, and the distance becomes disadvantageous. This change silently creates a chain reaction of weaknesses. In this disadvantageous state, a crocodile becomes trapped on dry land, making movement slow and difficult to adjust. Lions begin to appear from various directions, maintaining a steady pace and observing the reaction. As the distance narrows, the pressure increases progressively. The crocodile gradually loses its ability to maintain its previous position. The lion's coordinated efforts continue to push the situation further into disadvantage for the crocodile. When the situation changes, control is almost lost. That moment marks the end of the confrontation. This is not typical predatory behavior, but rather a consequence of losing environmental advantage. From the series of state changes that just occurred, the determining factors lie in the environment and timing. When the initial conditions are gone, all defense mechanisms rapidly diminish, and in a very short period of time, the outcome is clearly defined. In the vast savanna, the impala maintains safety through its wide-ranging observation and quick, leaping reflexes. Its acceleration and changes of direction allow it to keep its distance from threats at close range. When focused, it maintains relatively stable control of its escape route. However, when attention is diverted, its reaction time slows and the risk increases. In a confrontation between two males, attention is entirely focused on competition. The lion maintains distance, observing and waiting for the right moment, not rushing to approach. When a clear moment of distraction arises, it accelerates and closes the distance in a very short time. Pressure builds precisely when the prey is no longer fully aware of its environment. The moment of approach occurs before the impala has had time to establish its escape route. The safe distance disappears, and the rhythm of movement is no longer maintained. The attack ends quickly when the passive state is not reversed. The outcome is determined at the moment of distraction. In the animal world, hyenas maintain their instinct to seize opportunities by approaching quickly and competing for food. This strategy saves energy, but always comes with high risk. When an opportunity arises, they act almost immediately. This very choice gradually leads them into uncontrollable situations. A hyena approaches a food source and quickly leaves upon recognizing signs of danger. Behind them, a lion has begun tracking and maintaining a steady distance. When the right moment arrives, their speed increases significantly and the distance quickly shortens. The hyena is forced to flee under constant pressure. The lion maintains close proximity and gradually reduces the hyena's ability to move effectively. The escape route narrows as the running rhythm becomes unstable. The crucial moment comes when another lion approaches from the opposite direction. From that point on, the space for movement was almost completely locked down, and the chase ended quickly. This was a territorial response, not aimed at hunting. From this sequence of events, the deciding factor lay in location and timing rather than speed. When the direction of movement is controlled, any initial advantage quickly disappears, and in a very short time, the outcome was clearly determined. On the African plains, zebras maintain safety through early detection and quick group response. While maintaining distance, they can change direction and retaliate with powerful kicks from their hind legs. Coordination within the herd reduces risk from threats. However, when reaction time slows, the safe distance quickly disappears. A single zebra fails to recognize a danger at close range, allowing a lion to approach undetected. When the distance is short enough, the lion accelerates and closes in a very short time. The zebra tries to resist by turning and using its hind legs. But the pressure isn't limited to one direction. Another lion joins in at the right moment, shifting the situation from a single confrontation to pressure from multiple sides. The zebra's ability to maintain position diminishes rapidly as it has to react continuously. The confrontation ends when the initial distance and rhythm of movement are lost. The outcome is determined as soon as the situation changes. From this sequence of events, the deciding factor lies in the ability to detect early and maintain distance. When approached too closely, all reactions become passive. And when pressure comes from multiple directions simultaneously, the outcome is shaped in a very short time. In the open grassland, buffalo maintain safety by moving in herds and keeping a tight formation. Their advantage comes from their coordinated response, creating a multi-directional protective layer. While within this structure, each individual supports the others. But as soon as they leave the formation, the level of protection immediately decreases. Within that movement, an individual begins to slow down and gradually separate from the group. Lions recognize this change and maintain a distance, observing instead of approaching immediately. When favorable conditions arise, they coordinate from multiple directions and gradually tighten the space. Pressure increases progressively, causing the safe distance to quickly disappear. The coordination becomes evident when one buffalo maintains the direction of movement, while another intervenes at the point of imbalance. The buffalo tries to turn its head to react, but its movement rhythm is no longer stable. When constantly pressured from multiple sides, its ability to maintain balance rapidly decreases. The confrontation ends when the initial defensive posture can no longer be maintained. From a continuous series of pressures, the decisive factor lies in the moment of separation from the group. When the collective structure is lost, individual strength is insufficient to sustain defense. And under simultaneous pressure from multiple directions, the outcome is determined in a very short period of time. In open spaces, giraffes maintain safety thanks to their wide field of vision and the ability to defend themselves with their hind legs. Their close-range kicks generate significant force, forcing opponents to keep their distance. While maintaining their pace, they effectively control their approach. However, as pressure builds, energy expenditure increases noticeably. When exhaustion sets in, a young lion approaches early and attempts to close the gap prematurely. A direct defensive response forces the giraffe to retreat and adjust its pace. The pride then doesn't immediately accelerate, but maintains distance, observing and continuously applying pressure. The distance gradually narrows over time. When the giraffe's pace begins to slow, an adult lion joins in at the right moment. Pressure is then concentrated on more effective approaches, causing the giraffe's ability to maintain distance to rapidly diminish. From that point on, the situation turned unfavorable, and the confrontation ended quickly. The decisive moment lay in the attrition phase, not in the initial approach. From the established state of decline, the key factor was the timing and extent of energy expenditure. When the ability to maintain the rhythm was lost, all defense mechanisms became significantly less effective, and only after a controlled series of pressures could the outcome be determined in a clear direction. Gazelles are among the fastest gazelles on the savanna, but their advantage is built in bursts of acceleration. Once they have enough momentum, they can reach 50 to 56 miles per hour and maintain a safe distance. However, in the first few seconds, this speed isn't fully developed. This short transitional period creates a clear weakness. Recognizing this, the lion keeps its body low and observes at close range, not rushing to approach. When the gazelle begins to run but hasn't reached its maximum speed, the lion accelerates briefly to close the gap. Pressure builds up as the prey's pace stabilizes. The safe distance disappears with each step. The moment of approach comes before the gazelle reaches its survival speed. The escape route isn't fully formed, and the ability to maintain distance is gone. The chase ends quickly before the speed advantage can take effect. The outcome is determined during that transitional phase. In each approach, the most important factor is not speed, but timing. The lion maintains observation, keeps its distance, and only acts when the conditions are right. When the opportunity arises, the attack is brief and decisive, and it is this precision that determines the entire outcome.